Letting you hear about me talking. It's the girl letting you know about me. Letting you know about me talking. Letting you know about me talking. Letting you hear about me talking. Cheche poleo. Letting you know about me. Letting you know about me talking. You never need on you good down. You carry away without looking down. Cheche poleo. Letting you know about me. Letting you know about me talking. I say they get sweet oh like you. When somebody boyfriend get you honor, you too you want get them honor.
Okay, Chairman.
When somebody girlfriend get you honor, you too you want get them honor. Say papi water, say mommy water, polo.
No problem. I can make that time for you.
Say papi water, polo. Letting you know about me talking. International. Jehovah, get in. Let's go. Take to my game. Let's go. I say they get fun like you. I say they get sweet like you. When somebody boyfriend get you honor, you too you must get them honor. When somebody girlfriend get you honor, you too you must get them honor. Say papi water, say you mommy water, polo. Say she mommy water, say you papi water, polo. When somebody break my heart, I will say join me another relationship. When somebody break my heart, I will say join me another relationship. I will love you, I will love you, I will do my do again, I will do my do again. Letting you know about me talking. Letting you hear about me talking. It's the girl letting you know about me. Letting you know about me talking. Letting you know about me talking. Letting you hear about me talking. Cheche poleo. Letting you know about me. Letting you know about me talking. You never need on the computer. You carry away without looking down. Cheche poleo. Letting you know about me.
Oh, good morning. Let's listen to a couple of music and then we will start the ball rolling.
I say they get sweet like you. When somebody boyfriend get you honor, you too you must get them honor. When somebody girlfriend get you honor, you too you must get them honor. Say papi water, say mommy water, polo. Say she mommy water, say papi water, polo. Létí you know about me, talking. Létí you hear about me, talking. Easy girl, létí you know about me. Létí you know about me, talking. Létí you know about me, talking. Létí you hear about me, talking. Cheche pule, létí you know about me. Létí you know about me, talking. Somebody break my heart. Hey, I will say to me another relationship. I will love again. I will love again. I will do my do again. I will do my do again. Létí you know about me, talking. Létí you hear about me, talking. Easy girl, létí you know about me. Létí you know about me, talking. Létí you know about me, talking. Létí you hear about me, talking. Cheche pule oh, létí you know about me. Létí you know about me, talking. You say my name on the computer. You carry away this allocator. Cheche pule oh, létí you know about me. Létí you know about me, talking. I say they get sweet oh like you. When somebody boyfriend get you honor you too you must get them honor When somebody get friend get you honor you too you must get them honor Say papi water, say man.
So while we are waiting for our studio guests to come on, right after the music, we'll be talking. All right. We get one of our studio guests, one of our platform panelists, just show face. Where you go here? I saw you on.
Hello?
Yeah, you on. You saw this stuff that
Getting sound.
all right, folks, we'll pause the music right there and we will get started. Okay. All right. Pastor, good morning. You want me to play some music so that you settle down?
If you don't want to betray, fight friendly. If you don't want to betray, fight friendly. Bombe oh, fight friendly. Bombe chene oh, fight friendly. Fight friendly. Fight friendly. Hey, see bestie, your bestie not see la bestie, your bestie la bestie, fight friendly.
I know.
See bestie wanting to happy. Fight friendly. they want me go, I say, So my dad said they want me go, I say, Your bestie, that's sweet, my bestie. Your bestie, la bestie, my friend. I said, see bestie, wanting to happy, my friend. They want to lay my blessing, but God didn't break me. Friendship, now see from my tea friendship, and I won't know how to friendship. I hear them say they want me go, I say, I hear them say they want me go, I say,
My friend and me.
Bestie, wanted to happy, my friend and me.
All right, folks, we can keep waiting. So let me say good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. My name is J. Joshua K. Powell, and I will be joined by two of my panelists. One came on, but apparently she wasn't hearing from the other side, so she went off. So, who's that? So let's give it. Let's be talking while they are trying to come on. Couple of issue happenings in Liberia. One of the most trending is um, Timothy Weah and a couple of Liberians who felt that Timothy did not play, so they are feeling bad why he did not play with them. But we are concerned about the alarm and the huge concern about why they are so concerned that he did not play. What is their intention and why do they want him to play so bad? You know, why do you want him to play so bad when you said you had an honoring game for him? He had just entered the country, he's tired and all that, so you wanted to maybe rest and stuff. But people making the situation to look like if he doesn't play, it means he are taking something away from Liberia. So I'm confused, as many of you are confused about how people are so concerned about his playing. Um, Whether he play or not, it will take nothing from on his career. It will put nothing on his career. It will add nothing on the Liberia football record. It will change nothing from on our. It has no significant impact. You know, it is not like he playing will change his mind to come and play for Liberia, or if he doesn't play, it means uh, I'm concerned. You know, We got to see the passion in people talking about he not playing. I see people angry. I see some, you know. So I'm here thinking, what is the significance? What is the impact having some? What is that? You know, folks, I'm having some difficulty with my having some 1Q, 1TPQ. What is that? What is the my password is finding it difficult to get on. I don't know why. Bear with me, folks, a little bit, just a little bit. You know, so I really want to know what would be the impact. But then again, it brings to my attention the way the opposition, in particular, taking this whole Timothy we have football something. I haven't seen. Oh, you didn't see on it. Oh my God. All right, for today, just another day where you think you're doing the right thing and then it's not doing it the right way. It's not in program. The link is not going. When you think you're doing the right thing and the right thing is not doing the right thing. Yeah. Yeah, the guys are finding it difficult to log on. For just give me get bear with me so that I can help these people out. They they're trying to log in, but they are not getting on.
If you don't want betrayal, fire friend, fire friend, fire friend. If you don't want betrayal, fire friend. Bombe oh, fire friend. Bombe chele oh, fire friend. Fire friend. Fire friend. Hey, see bestie, your bestie not see my bestie, your bestie la bestie, fire friend. I say, see bestie wanting to happy, fire friend. I hear them say they want me go, I said it. Some of them say they want me go, I said it. Some pressure and some pressure and
Morning, Joy. What's up? All right. So hopefully they'll be able to get it now because I just resent it to them. So like I was saying before we got stopped, I trying to gather the rationale, trying to gather the reason why these people are so angry about a a soccer match that Timothy we did not play. You know, what is it that they are so angry about? What benefit will his with his playing bring to them? what value will it add to the Liberian football? This man is never going to play for Liberia because he has chosen another country to play for, which he has played for. And so, if he even play with the Liberian whatever team we were playing with, All Star, and he scored 50 goals, it's not going to be added onto an international record. It's not going to make any impact. It's not going to change anything. So why are they angry? What is it that you are angry about? You want to kill yourself? You're crying and. Could I welcome my brother? How you doing this morning?
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm doing good, Joshua.
Fasia came on, but she said she couldn't hear me. I was hearing her very well, so she went off. Hopefully, she will come back. So
I'm
I
bad for
sent I sent you the talking point. You want to go through them, and then we can start the ball rolling. Timothy, we are Saka upcoming election. What can we learn from Sierra Leone election, and what we can apply to ours? I sent you the leak audio of the Glorious card tape. Um, how who did she make the call to, and how possible is it that she said she was the one fighting the arm robber, and Glorious said she sprayed the arm robber. Now a new version come out that she was fighting the arm robber, and so those are talking points that we want to talk about. And then the CEO posted something yesterday about friendship, calling me and not calling you. So I just thought, what are friends for? So those are the talking point
Hmm.
in the morning. I was just talking about the Timothy we are. Let's talk about Timothy we are, not playing yesterday when he arrived in Liberia, and people are very angry why he did not play. My question is, why are you this angry? What is the benefit of Timothy play, or what is the impact if he play for you on his international career and so forth, or they play somebody from in the opposition and say, my man, go play on a fee, one that make and if you get your own whole target that you just go eat a boom, and the man lost the contract, like what happened to Murphy Nangbe, very powerful defender for Liberia captain, sustained injury and he never recover from it. So what was their intention? Why are they so equal that they men supposed to play by all means? Let me see if I can. You can give you an intro while I try to get with Fasia.
Okay. My opinion is that Liberians, I want to see where the lights are coming from. Like I told you yesterday, for me, I don't care. You know, it does not sync within me personally. As to my own expectation when it comes to the team we are issue. But I try to, look at the whole issue, and then I try to dissect it and then look at it from the point where Liberians are angry. Why are Liberians angry? The expectation. It will interest you to know that President Weah became popular not through any academic, activity. He never got famous through any acting career. He got famous through soccer, and he became one of the best player ever in the world, whose records are still outstanding. And it Liberians feel that if George Weah, who waved the flag of Liberia, can enjoy today the benefit of being a soccer legend, and Liberian trust, repose confidence in him to become the president of the nation. Their expectation was that George Weah's son would
Mhm.
do nothing but play for his father's country, because this is the man who raised the national colors out there. Every
Mhm.
time George Weah played out there, people knew that a Liberian was there. Every
Yeah.
time he performed in Europe, they saw a Liberian, legend. So
Mhm.
Liberians were thinking that Saint Tim Weah is trying to walk in his father's footsteps. One
Mhm.
of the best things he would have done was to come, back home and try to raise the national colors. And mind you, Liberia is struggling. The national team is not even up to, to standard. You will say, okay, because the national team is not composed, it's not even up to date. Why would we are leave, a good league, leave a good environment, and come to play for Liberia? But take it from the view that this is what leadership is all about. It is not just a mere thing any longer. He is the son of the president. He is the son of the world best, the former world best. He is the son of the former African best. He's the son of the former European best. There's no way you can try to quote this thing that people don't see it. Look at their father now. Josh Weah is the father of Liberia. So people feel that the best way the Weah family would have portrayed, fostering the legacy of Josh Weah in soccer was for his son to play for the national team. They felt that if nobody ever could raise the colors of Liberia, Josh Weah's son should, because the issue is because his father did, and his father is now the president of the nation. How can Josh Weah pick the national team from grass and to grace? He needs to bring on board the caliber of player like Tim Weah, people who are recognized in the world for good talents, bringing the guys, all the Liberians back. Look at the Liberian board that play in Canada right now. All the guys, if they had, good motivation, if they had people chasing them, they were not going to naturalize to play in other countries. They were going to come back home. But, under the Josh Weah administration, there was no motivation. There was no inspiration. They back in the day, Joe invested time, energy, money into what? The soccer talent. He invested in it so much that during the Dole regime, there have been never a Lone Star team, and I still challenging. There's yet to be a Lone Star team to be compared to the Dole regime. It was the Dole regime that brought the leg of Josh Weah, the leg of Salensa, Kevin Segbe, Friday Robbers, Bill Bestman, all of the guys that came on the national scene. So, I think Joshua, the Liberians are frustrated because a lot of the Liberians are they supported him because of his soccer achievement. So they feel that if we're supporting you because of the thing that made you new in the world, you also would have prioritized us to make your son to come and support us, to be, to raise the country from nowhere to somewhere. That's what I gather.
All right, let me just divert you from the point you are making, because the point you are making, they are salient, but they are overdue.
Okay.
Yes, they are old. The anger of the people who are venting out is not on the basis of ultimate choice to choosing Liberia or choose America over Liberia. That we are done with that page long time. What happened is Timothy going back home after he signed his Juventus contract, went back home, and Son Liberian decided to welcome him to celebrate his glory. They organized a game in his honor. The event now is why he did not play that honorary game. Let's take for example. Two things. This is my argument. Two things. Timothy, we have traveled 16 hours, approximately, maybe 24 hours, because normally we will spend 2 days, in transit. But let's say maybe into straight flight, 16 hours, sitting down. And upon arrival, the game is supposed to start. What is training the young man guy to play another soccer match? That is my first point of argument. Number two, if the game is solely for me, if it's in my honor, what's the essence for me to play? If you celebrating me, if you happy that I've achieved this contract, why must I play if it is in my honor? Number two, athletes of celebrity and famous people, they are controlled by a system that we call manager. Why, if the manager didn't deem it necessary that this man should play on grounds that He had just won himself a big contract, and he has something to prove. On the other wall, moreover, his playing will not add anything to his contract. He already playing for another country. So playing for Liberia, it's not even playing for Liberia. It was one of Jovial football old time or how they call it old school team. Also they call it All Star that organized the game. So team have chosen America a long time. We have discussed that. People had a view and everything. I for one I would love for him to play for Liberia. But the people looking at the caliber of Liberia, they just looking at my wife can say or her man say what people that usually come to beg or something that you can't beg me, then my own child grow, then you go beg my child again. So we have someone with a team here, he brought it all, he spent all your money. Then the team not gonna know the song can't do again, you can start with the same old story. So it will just be that maybe we just tend to lose that thing over to the we are family. So my confusion here is Timothy Weah made a decision long time ago. People asking why Timothy did not play. George Weah Jr. He went pro before his brother. He played with AC Milan, but injury and maybe he was not able to cut his skin off. Oh yeah,
But Joshua,
yeah. For second
let, let also let also look at it from another angle.
uh-huh.
Team Weah made his a choice, like you said, and it's long past and it's overdue. We should not relevant, his decision any longer. But and I'm trying to play the devil advocate here. What's the significance of having an honoring match for him? He's not a Liberian. He's not playing for Liberia. He's playing for the United States. Why honor him in Liberia? Honor him in Liberia as what? Play an honoring match in his honor for what? What is the achievement? What does Liberia stand to benefit at the end of the day? That's mere flamboyancy and stupidity. I will condemn the act that people even try to play a game in honor of Team Weah in Liberia. Number one, who is he to Liberia? The president's son? What good is he to Liberia? What good is he to Liberia? He's of no good. I mean, you should be honoring the likes of people who are sacrificing their talents out there and still raising the national flag. You should be honoring people who still prioritize the red, white, and blue with a single star, not a 50 star, the single star that still won no matter what. You see, Lord, let me tell you, Joshua, patriotism is something that Liberians should try to know about. Patriotism. Look, when you love somebody, when you love something, regardless of the status, regardless of the condition, you got to go above and beyond to portray your love for that thing. Josh Weah and his son did not demonstrate, and I'm being very honest with you. You know me, I don't fry into too much politicking and all that kind of thing, but I'm going to be open here today because the issue is Josh Weah and his son have done Liberia no good when it comes to soccer. They have done Liberia no good when it comes to the game. And it surprises me to see that Josh Weah ascended to the peak of the career called soccer, emanating from where? Liberia. From where? USA or Gibraltar, right? So if I were that person, and I'm telling you, Joshua, today, with me, the passion that I have, coming from nowhere, and maybe if it is selling cold water that made me to become successful, if I come back to Liberia, I would try to make Liberians to know that cold water is something you can't underestimate, because you know what? I saw cold water and it took me to the world biggest face of game of fame or whatever. So today, in my opinion, I feel that the whole thing about the whole shenanigan about this Team Weah match in your honor is political. It's political. Nothing achieving is there. It's just because elections are around the corner, and Liberians should stop this. Team Weah is a son of the Liberian president, so he has the right to show face in Liberia. But as far as soccer is concerned, He's of no significance to Liberia. He's of no significance to the national team. So why should Liberia even try to play against his honor? What good is it to Liberia? The man is raising the United States national flag. That's what he plays for, Joshua. So if we must pass the conversation, if we must make the conversation to be juicy, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't see any reason why people should be angry. So people not even going on to say he didn't play. All of that is still stupidity. What the essence of team we are playing anyway in Monrovia? What good is it to Liberia? That's my argument. Even if he did play, let's assume he played, he scored 10 goals. What good is it to Liberia? Oh, that Joe Wilson, he played for America. But we're honoring him in Liberia, or we're honoring him to come play and do what? Look, so all of the things are craziness. I don't dignify it, and I don't see any reason why. And I want to stand with a few Liberians and say it's condemnable. You know that people will even think about honoring him for what reason? What good is it? My only part of the side that I'm still critiquing is what good is his performance to Liberia? What good is it?
Well, let me just give you my input. For me, I do not buy the idea of team even playing, that game for obvious reasons. Number one, he just signed a very big contract, and it's possible that he can sustain injury, and he will lose the contract. Number two, he had traveled for a very long distance. He needed to rest, and but let me come back to your argument that George Weah and his son bring nothing to the table of the game. That is not true. It is under George Weah regime that George Weah intends to Mustafa Haji regime that we are seeing all of our fields having a lift. You go to Basel, the field got good facelift. You go to Tusafi, you go to other places in the West Point and other places. We at least we're trying to give these pages a facelift that at least to some extent. George Weah cannot play for the national team. George Weah is doing what he's supposed to do for the national team, but he cannot play for them. We'll just draw the game or win and go to national and go to Nation Cup. We could not. It is not about George Weah. It's about the guys on the pitch. They had the opportunity just recently when Diba was the coach. All they needed to do was either draw or win 1-0 or draw again. They could not. So you went with George Weah to go wear boots for them? No. The opportunity they were given to them, the support are there.
Joshua, I want to hold you right there, brother. You running with it, and when it comes to soccer, I blame George Weah a lot. You think George Weah need to play? The icon George Weah, when it comes to soccer, look, the first thing you should be ashamed of saying that George Weah elevators, putting pages and this and that. When that started. Look, let me tell you. Do you know that Liberia, or the only stadium that Liberia had, the Samuel Kayando Sports Stadium, got honored by the FIFA for international matches in Liberia. No, but that's a shame to George Weah because George Weah play on that field, and George Weah play on that field to become a world best. George Weah play on that field to become European best, Africa best. He should have taken into consideration as a soccer legend the international standards when it comes to playing the game and the pitch. So under his regime, the field got disqualified. Under his regime, the team could not even play at home. They were playing Cameroon for home matches. That was a shame for a soccer legend who became a football president. It was out of the passion for his achievement that Liberia made him president. He said it. He said, I did nothing to you. I did nothing for the country. You made me president. It's because you love me. It's true. Liberians love him for what? Because he raised the standards. He raised the banners of the national colors out there when times were difficult. What hard is it for George Weah to promote the national team? You think the national team players are promoted, my brother? I can tell you, look, you know the formality in making a player that play in Europe to come down. Somebody playing behind camera, but they got good talents. What do you think it takes to bring them down? Some of those boys, the motivation they're supposed to get to come down to play on their national team, they're not getting it. They're not getting it. When you call some of them, you want you want to get the responsibility to play for their own national team. My man, we want you to come home to play, but we're saying one way ticket for you. The other one, you're responsible. Are you serious? You tell what you want, doing a George Weah leg. He was helping some other players that couldn't do it, right? Now he knows the part of being a soccer legend. He knows what. Look, Liberia should have been one of the best countries in Africa. You know why? Because somebody like George Weah is president. The world best, Africa best, European best. We should have academies in Liberia. We should have had one of the world best soccer academies. You know why? Because till now, when FIFA are making draws for World Cup and other things, they still invite George Weah as peace ambassador. As the record he said nobody has going to achieve the records in the shortest possible time that he achieved them. So he's still an astute figure to Liberia, to the world, to FIFA about it. What has he done to promote soccer in Liberia? Creating pages around you go, because we say, okay, Gibraltar fee, he played there before, then we create some kind of part, this and that. What good is it to the players when they want to have struggled to go out there? Some of them not even playing in any good leagues. George Weah has the contact to grab anybody here, even you, and say, this is my son. This is a Liberian that I have trust in. Let me be a little bit, rhetorical and try to have biblical analysis. Do you know that if Jesus raised the hands of any apostle back in the day and say, this is my servant in whom I am well pleased, Christianity look up to him? Look at the 12 that he selected. Today you read a Bible and believing that the 12 apostles that Jesus appointed lived the lifestyle of what? Jesus. How many of the Liberian players can we brag of that George Weah have raised and promoted up to the national standard? So when you look around you, Joshua, before you come in, when you look around you, most of the national teams you see, those boys are playing in competitive leagues out there. You think Liberians don't have they don't have the space to play in competitive league? It's about the people who expose them to the league. We thought that all boys stood behind George Weah, hoping that if George Weah became president, it would be easier for their skills, it would be easier for their talent. But now they expected that more Liberians will be playing in Europe. More Liberians will be playing. There's none of those clubs you can name, the Chelsea, the Arsenal, the AC Milan, going back to France. Every club that George Weah ever played for. If George Weah just raised any one Liberian player and carry them to any other club, that's a free pass. They will go on the club. They will play. And the Liberian players, they got the talent. They can justify and they will remain there. Who's sending them? George Weah is not promoting anybody. He became president. He's not promoting any Liberian player. Name one Liberian player that George Weah promoted. Then you want to brag about George Weah being good. He does not have to play, but he can influence the game. He can influence the national team to grow to an exponential level where Liberian Africans will say, yeah, George Weah is really promoting Liberia. How many Liberian players you got out there playing in international leagues that you know about, my brother? Let name them. And how many of them went at their space and recommendation of George Weah?
So, Kona, you are talking as if you don't know the rules of the game, or as if you did not even play the game. George Weah would not pick up a player and say, "Come to Chelsea, Chelsea, you can't take the player." If that was possible, then the whole rules that we play for all the big clubs in the world. People, coaches go and vet players. That's why you see that Liberian coach, the one that will fire Butter. Butter was always online looking for Liberian player to spark. It's not a president area. They can't go to Chelsea. You can't to Liberia. We got some good players. No, it doesn't even work that way. Coaches go out, agents go out. We have youth in sport. Now let me tell you something about governance. There is the essence of governance. When I appointed you as election commissioner, people did not know your potential. I saw your potential and you exhibited beyond people's expectation. George Weah appoint people to various departments to bring out the good of Liberia. But what are they doing? They sit down on it. I met with Zoga Wilson one-on-one. I said, Zoga, this is what I think about the Liberian League. In Liberia, we have a major league called the County Meet. That County Meet is widely supported. Why now we change the county meet to our national league, where Barca will bring their team, Lima bring their team. Maybe we got 2 teams for each county. Like in London, you got Arsenal, you got Chelsea. In Manchester, you got Manchester City, you got Manchester United. So let each county produce 2 teams, and then we change the county meet, or we still call it county meet, or give it our name, say the Liberian League, and people will support their game. They can say that it cannot work in Liberia. Why we just you get think that it cannot work? Because people are not thinking, people are not innovating. It's not the president's job to do that. The president appointed to be youth and sport minister. It is your job to create program for the youth. We got bodybuilding in Liberia. All the when they build body, the only way they can get to go be bouncer to the club. But in developed country, those people they make money because their youth and sport ministry or their whatever department they got, they're making use of the opportunity they gave on to them. We are not. So Jolie, we're not picking nobody and say, "Mama, can I go?" Is that possible? Clarence, we are play better football than Josh. We are. Moses, we are. When I bought key, one on shot. You just feel that turn on. Why did Joel without hold brother to go carry them? It's on the basis of age. Joel is not a football agent. He was a player.
No.
So you're not gonna pick up anybody. We, the youth and sport ministry, need to create a program that people will come from outside to come and spark. That's why people are appointed to importance and position in government. But people who are given the opportunity, they are not making use of it. But then we want to put it on the president. This president has created avenue for people to express and their talent. Now anywhere in Liberia now, I mean in Mozambique for now, not Liberia, but in Mozambique, we're having these playing pitches. But if we get re-elected, all the countries will have at least some playing pitches. Maybe who knows? We can find favor in some good friends, and we can have another stadium. Joel, we can stadium.
My brother,
Yeah.
my brother, let me hold you over there.
Go ahead.
And when you come to the point where you say Joshua cannot hold somebody hand, you are in error. What's stopping? Let me first ask you the question: what's stopping the academy? The players that play beneath Joshua in Africa, almost all of them got some of the guys that did not play at the level of Joshua. The guys putting academics. What's stopping the academy? The academy is a gateway. It's an exposure to the talents, the local talents, to international standards. Knowing the game deeply and exposing them to a greater level where you can bring in scouters, like you said, coaches to come and scout from. What's stopping that? What's stopping Joshua from having a sporting academy? It's yet to be seen. Didier Drogba, he got here academy. Samuel Eto'o, I don't want to go with a list of African players that did not reach the level of Joshua. They all got sporting academy at home. When will Joshua bring his? When he died? Now that's one. Two, that brings to my mind the entire thing. Joshua, in my personal opinion, I love Joshua. Look, I'm one of the guys that were a Joshua man when it comes to, the game. You could not try my Joshua when it came to the national team. That was my favorite player on the team. People who know me from Bomi County, they will tell you. There's no game Joshua played I will miss. Politics is not my thing. I don't go into politics. Since it is soccer and it's sports we're talking about, Joshua failed Liberia immensely. You can't sit over there and say the game, the scatters. No, there are people who hold people's hands and say, look, this man, I believe in him. For the kind of record that Joshua said he has, but Joshua is the kind of guy that feels that, and they got people like that. Since I have ascended to this level, nobody else needs to come to this level. It just has to be me. Look at Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf feels that the level of achievement she have had on the political scene, nobody should reach her level. So she will confuse the Liberian electorates as to making a choice on who succeeds her, her legacy, to be condemned continuously so that nobody can even be given 2 terms. Upon that note, she will brag and say, I was the only president in Liberia that was given 2 terms in the latter days, not way back in prehistory time. In the latter days, especially the 20th century, I'm the only president that was given 2 terms. And the reason why I was given 2 terms was because I was likable, was because of my system, or because of this. That the same thing that Josh Weah is doing. Anybody who wants to foster a legacy will promote, will invest in other people. It is a mean argument to say that Josh Weah, there is no career in the world that you will tell me about that somebody cannot raise the hands of another person. Every career in the world depends on recommendation. Every career in the world promote recommendation for people to ascend to the highest peak of leadership. So being an administrator, being a public administrator, and also being a manager as an area of focus in studies, it tells me that recommendation is the really ability of a person who have already served to tell the people that have reposed confidence in him that if you think I can do it, this person here can even do more than me if you only trust me, and give them my that recognition. Josh Weah was the guy that promoted Zeze Rabosh. You know about that, right? So he was not president when he promoted Zeze Rao. What did they require to promote Zeze Rao? You know the story. I don't want to go on the list from the junior professional auto boys that came out that Josh Weah tried to promote. Josh Weah was just a soccer player, and he was promoting players. At which level was he promoting them? That now God promoted him at the level where he got all the titles that nobody easily got, especially no African easily got, or no black man easily got. No black man in the world besides men that competed. And you look at Kimpere on the records and the whole trajectory, you can't even compare him to the time of Josh Weah, with the time and the situation that Josh Weah went on to achieve those things. So who has Josh Weah? So that it's me, because Josh Weah does not want anybody to knock his record down, not even from Liberia. So if you say he did not recommend his brothers or his son, why? Let me tell you, I listened to Tim Weah before, and I listened to one of his interviews, and I think I saw it on YouTube. He was saying that the reason why he's a little bit, withholding some of the things he does is because he does not want the world to judge him on his father's achievements. He wants the world to evaluate him on his potential as a young man and what he's capable of achieving. That was Tim Weah. No, but I'm quoting Tim Weah, and the reason why I said it was because Tim Weah, every time he played, people try to measure him to Josh Weah. They try to make him they want people in the world to say, this is the world's greatest player, son. So why? He can't poo-poo, he can't fart? Because he's the world's greatest player, son. He's not Josh Weah. Probably what Josh Weah went through during his time to be what he was, Tim is not going through the same thing. There were times Josh Weah never had food to eat when he was in 10th grade attending Western, coming, all of this here in Silence Island were in Western. There were days he never had food to eat. Tim Weah does not even know what they call hunger. Tim Weah does not know what it feels like to walk. When Josh Weah, there were days they had to walk, from Central Time, maybe to go all the way to Effie to go practice, and stuff like that, or whatever. So the argument I'm trying to balance here, brother, is that Tim Weah is a different species. I love Tim Weah. He's a fun talent. I play the game and I love the game. So when I see good talents, when it comes to the politics of the game, when it comes to the politics of Josh Weah being president, when it comes to the politics of prioritizing the talents, there where I hold Josh Weah, my brother. Josh Weah is not doing anything for Liberia when it comes to soccer. He has the requisite ability. If Josh Weah decides to promote soccer today in Liberia, I'm telling you, Joshua, Liberia, there's no African country that can come in comparison to Liberia. What importance is Josh Weah to FIFA that Josh Weah should go take part into the draws of the FIFA when it comes to World Cup? Before you come in, when Josh Weah traveled to Qatar for the World Cup, what did he say? He said he was invited by what? FIFA. If I hold the argument from that point, Who is George Weah that the world should invite him to FIFA for the World Cup? Who is he? If George Weah is that relevant to FIFA, it means that George Weah can hold any player hands and say, hey, as part of the clubs he played for, you think George Weah can go to Chelsea with the history he got in Chelsea or Arsenal or AC Milan and say, look, this Joshua man, I want you, whoever the coach is, when George Weah show faith, the coach will even bow to him because of his legacy to that club. And when he recommends a player, they cannot turn him down. Instead, the player go and add lazy in, defending who George Weah.
If you think that was possible,
it's possible.
Listen. Right now in the world, the major maybe 4 or 5 footballing club in the world, maybe 2 will come from England, 2 come from Spain. That is major football. You think Georgia would not whole team there and carry to Manchester, Chelsea, or Man City or Barcelona?
But you know, no. But you're not understanding Timothy. Timothy is saying no to that. Timothy is saying no. Timothy is telling his dad, I cannot live under the authority of your legacy. No. Timothy is saying no. I love the game. I love the game, and I don't want you to be the reason why I'm succeeding. I mean, successful. The boy made it clear, bro. That's why you see the boy is playing in his own image. He said, I don't want my dad to be the reason why I'm playing world best today or tomorrow I become world best. No, I want to be the reason why I become world best. So team wars are clear on that. If it was not because of that, George would have promoted team long time because everybody see that team is going to be somebody to live the legacy of George Weah. You can look, brother. You're talking about George Weah Jr. It's true, George Weah Jr. is a fan PC, but the talent that is in team right now, you can see George Weah in team. When George Weah was coming up, you can see it, the aggression, the frisky, move and all those kind of things. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I just wanted to hold you over there, but
no. We have a couple of things to talk about, and our time is fast spent. Let's just move out to could I your video went off. So let's just talk about Glorious Cat case. Few weeks ago, a little girl was killed in the Glorious Cat compound or in her house, and it is alleged that armed robber went to the house, and it was as a result of the armed robbery that the girl was killed. Glorious Cat, by her own explanation, she says she sprayed the armed robber with pepper spray, and then the guy managed to run away. And the case been going on. Everybody know the story. But today I came across a leaked video I just shared with you that the lady called somebody. From the beginning of the call, she was very kind. Oh yeah, what's up? And then the thing, pleasant treat, and then a few seconds later, the crew entered in her and she started crying and narrating that she fought with the arm robber. Glorious Cat said she sprayed the arm robber. Now another person make a phone call that she fought the arm robber, and then later on the arm robber killed again. And I read another script from Daily Observer or whatever the name, maybe I've missed the name, that one of the women that was arrested along with Glorious Cat says she is now going to suffer something that she know nothing about. But when the revel time comes, she will speak out. For some reason, somebody called Councilor my friend Jerome Verdier, and Jerome Verdier described the would-be armed robber, how you were barefooted and you were in short trousers and everything. And it is alleged that Jefferson Koji sent the armed robber to Glorious Cat house. We understand that there were 3 or 4 security, and among those security, a relative of Glorious Cat is in that security. So many accounts of this story. With the new video that coming, with new audio that coming up, what is your saying? Liberian people want justice for the girl who was killed. Liberian people want justice for the mysterious death. What account are you holding on? Gloria Scott spray the arm robber, or the young lady will just make a phone call fighting the arm robber.
You see, Joshua, this is the era where I try to be calm. I try to be a little bit resolute. Like I told you, when it comes to politics, I want to be a little bit judgmental with what I say, how I say it. Just now, I just latched on the world best player, Josh Weah, because that's my disappointment, not as a president, but a world best player. But when it comes to Madam Gloria Scott, Musu Scott, this whole scenario, the first thing I would tell you, in my opinion, I would feel that the police is not professional in handling this entire investigation.
Right.
The joint security, whatever joint security that have been assigned to the case, have not been professional in handling the case. The loss of life, me and you will agree that in America, in Europe, people don't just display evidence that's supposed to quote to either authenticate the case or to indict somebody for being the perpetrator.
Right.
But in Liberia, the entire, legal system have gotten politicized. So every little evidence that's supposed to buttress the efforts of the people who's supposed to make judgment have been politicized. So because of that, the judgments are scarce. So my thing is, if there's a leak audio right now, what is the leak audio in the public space instead of the legal space? Because I thought the leak audio should have gone to court. I thought the leak audio is supposed to go before the juror to convince them that Madam Gloria Scott is playing a double-faced game. I thought because the involvement of people like Councillor Jerome Vordia would mean that there is some implication because the people insinuation is leading them to believe that Madam Gloria Scott is lying. You see, look, Joshua, we got to be careful when emotions are on the line with what we say and how we say it. I am not I'm not an investigator, and with the names of people that are involved into this matter, my only thing is if Madam Gloria Scott wanted to kill whoever her daughter was, she would not have raised her to become the age she is to kill her now. When you look at the money she used to raise that girl over the years till now, it has been number of money going to school, the clothes she wear, going to, exposing her entire, self. Why would she want to kill her now? To stain a government or to stain an individual? Brother, common sense tells you that some politicking is into the game. And I don't want to delve into them too much because it does not make any sense for me to raise a child, even if the child was not my biological child, to raise them from the time they were nothing, like 0 months old, right? Until they became like 30 years old, 28, 29, 30 years old. Then I decided to kill them because I want to stain Joshua power. What good is it to me? If
Roman have it that because the Scott, whatever the girl died from, because Scott did not kill her personally. It is believed, it is rumored that there was a fight in the house and Councilor Scott's daughter hit the girl hard and she died, and Scott is using her influence to cover up. It's not her as an individual who may kill her. It wasn't even intentional to kill her. Something happened. There was a fight, according to some neighbors. There have been fight between the two young people, and then this night the fight again started. That's how she was killed. But Scott is using her influence to cover up. So it's not that Scott raised a child and then she said, "Oh, I want to kill her." No, she did not kill her, but with with our influence and other supporting forces, it is believed that it would have been swept aside. Now, to me, the whole thing was opposition making trying to bar this case, which they are doing it the wrong way. That's why you see all the leak video. The leak audio was intentional. It was not meant to go to court. It was meant. It is meant to confuse the public. You know, but again, we look like you said, the police or the investigator, they need to do better than what they are doing. On many occasions, investigators are the one who always, delay this justice and stuff. But let's just close on this. Next week we can talk about. I want to also talk about tourism and creating job. But we don't have time, so we'll keep it for next week because you and Fasia, you're in too much politics. So next week we'll talk about tourism. But we have election right in the corner. Election is just in a few months. Sierra Leone had their election. They got a new president in the old president, and there were so many ups and downs during the Sierra Leone election. People were killed, people were brutal, and I interviewed a couple of Sierra Leoneans, and they they praised George Weah for freedom of speech, for freedom of movement and expressing politically freely. They say in Sierra Leone those things doesn't happen. But at the end of the day, after their election result, I saw less noise as it will be in Liberia. What can we learn from the Sierra Leone election? What can we avoid from their election come October?
Well, Joshua, for me, you agree that Sierra Leone and Liberia they are separate countries with, you know, some similarity into cultural, you know, alignments, and so I think that Sierra Leone and Liberia, they got some, difference when it comes to our cultural alignments.
Mhm.
As much as I don't know the Sierra Leonean constitution when it comes to, what kind of state it is, whether it's a Christian nation or a Muslim nation or whatever religion that is, but I do know of Liberia. But when it comes to what can we learn, number one, what I can learn is the completion. And you see, sometimes elections of every country are held according to what the constitution mandate them to do. Our constitution is saying after every 10 years, we should have something called a census. The census is to remunerate the population and gather people to have, because it's true that there have been, global figures when it comes to number of people that have died versus number of people that are born. There are more people born versus people that have died. No matter how the rates are high, there will be more people born to people that have died. So you'll be able to capture the little difference. If 10 people die from the community, but 20 were born, so you agree that your population raised or got raising by 10 people, right? And
Mhm.
according to the Constitution, when the censuses are held, the census empowered a particular region based on the number of population in the region to have a representation in the House of Parliament. And the reason why the people structure the government this way is because of the democracy of the governance system that Liberia have enshrined into their constitution years before me and you were born. But those things were not practiced. So what I want to say today is that Sierra Leone had a successful election. They voted. There were no fight. They did not shoot guns. They did not kill one another. And they voted the re-election of the president that was there. That was one lesson learned. Successful completion of the elections. Sierra Leone infused into the election commission the budget that was required to complete the electionary process. Liberia, we have been struggling for the electoral budget. Maybe what we need to learn is that the president, the executive branch of government, will now have to endorse, because number one, the census did not hold. The census went on. There were a lot of red flags for the census. So the census did not hold because, you know what, according to the law, the census should have been recognized, endorsed by the executive branch of government. Then the National Election Commission was going to create a redemarcation based on the census results. Re-electoral demarcation. Me and you know that the capital city for Bomi County is Todmanbury. The capital city for Grand Bassa is Buchanan. But those are political districts. Now we are having electoral district. Electoral district are the voting rights that the election commission has seen in the number of people that are eligible to come up to register and vote for president or for leaders in the country. So when it comes to that, Liberia is still nagging behind. NEC did not do any redemarcation of electoral districts. So even if, for instance, Bomi County used to be maybe 120,000 human beings, and if we probably went to 160,000 human beings right now, it's going to be fiasco. There cannot be one seat added, there cannot be one seat or two seats added to Bomi County, depending on that, for the fact that the redemarcation NEC, the census results were not acceptable. The census results were not acceptable, so it cannot form a law for NEC to redemarcate the electoral boundaries. So, if, for instance, if Clay District or Senior District of Bomi County have an increase of maybe twice the population, they cannot have more than what they have. So, if twice the population, let's look at the threshold. The threshold before was at 40%. They brought it down to what percent now? 30 or 20, Joshua. Keep me up with current event. What is the threshold now for a representative?
This is 10.
I think it's around 20%, right?
Yeah.
So around 20%, if the threshold is around 20%, it used to be at 40. So if it came down to 20%, that tells you that the number of people that were in Bomi County that gave Senior District one seat could now be giving Senior District two district electoral district based on the number of people. So that means they would have divided Senior District into two electoral districts, so that Senior will be able to produce two representatives. And that also means that national government will also going to readjust its hostage capacity, that is the capital building, to be able to bring on board more representatives because the population have grown. But you know what? That particular aspect of the Constitution is not holding, simply because the government did not do her best in handling the census results. And I'm speaking from my opinion. During censuses, the people that will motivate people to be counted are the first family. During the census, the president was out of the country with his main interact, the people that are considered first stakeholders into the Liberian politics, they were out of the country. How good was the census for these national stakeholders to be out of the country when they were checking people to come up with a number of people in Liberia to come up with a new, voting population? So I feel that Liberia did not do the best thing that you have done to be in comparison to the Sierra Leone situation. And the reason why I don't want to dwell on Sierra Leone achievement too much because is that Sierra Leone and Liberia are two constitutional institutions. Liberia Constitution is different from the Sierra Leone Constitution. I stand to be corrected. I did not research it because I told you the time and topic in. I don't know how many forms of government does Sierra Leone have. But I know Liberia, we have three branches of government. And in the discharge of the duty of the three branches of government, we know that all of these guys, they complement one another functionalities to buttress the overall governance of the country, from the legislature to the judiciary and then down to the executive. These people supposed to work hand in hand. But Joshua, before you come in, let's look at it from the overall view. Did the census empower NEC for redemarcation? No. We still have the district scene. When I was living in Browville district used to be District 13. And you know what we were? We were under the Caldwell district in part of where? Lookington. When the census was held, the redemarcation came in. 3 new districts were added, electoral district. And you know what it did for us behind the St. Paul River Bank? From St. Paul Bridge, going all the way now, they made that part of district, that part was district number 13. Well, under the district, but then Honorable Victoria Lynch was the representative, my good old friend. And Honorable Victoria Lynch was controlling the whole Browville side, going all the way to the St. Paul River, to the Paul River, going all the way in Cheesemanburg. You cross the Paul River, go to Demon, go all the way in. All that area was under Monserrato district number 7, district number 13. Going all the way looking to almost as far as where Abu Kamara got a house. All that area was part of our district 13. The census brought in the increase into the population. You know what happened? They said the people too much now for one representative for the whole area. We got to split it. So they split it. And you know what happened when they split it? That Caldwell and then Lookington side remain as a district. Now we from the, St. Paul River side going all the way, we became a district, and that district is now district number 17. And the first representative for district number 17 was William Vanning Dakel, my brother-in-law, that we campaigned and made a representative for the district. Why am I saying this? When there is an increase into population, the representation by law is required. So the elections cannot even be fair election when the population has increased and we do not have a legal or fundamental representation at the lawmaking body. So that alone is not even fair play. Now for the national government, the local government, that is the executive, to endorse and release the electoral budget is still a question mark issue. So all of those things are red flags when it comes to the national elections. So we hope that our people are learning from these things. We know that we can redemarcate way past that time because we have voter registration. Another thing I see that is a problem, Joshua. In every electoral process, you cannot introduce something new and do not educate people on the new system. Liberia is not a country of technology. You will agree with me. Me and you will agree that even when we started seeing computer was a big machine that we were afraid of. We didn't want to touch it too hard to spoil it. So we would gently touch the the keyboard of the computer. Even touching it a day was a try and error because we didn't know the machine and the functionality of the machine. But today, Joshua, we introduced something called the biometrics. One of the greatest ways in the world to identify individualism. That is, when a biometric is in a country, you cannot easily cheat an election results. But is Liberia prepared for a biometric kind of system? No. Number one, we don't even have good internet system. People are using mobile internets. So whatever devices they are using when the GSM company that is providing that coverage does not have a strong tower in our area, it becomes an impediment. So Joshua, the whole introduction of the biometric was not timely and the investment component was less. National government did not take time to invest into the preparation for the introduction of the biometrics. So what happened? Till now, I know Liberians that can tell you that they will never register and they will not be voting in this election because they were not registered. So when it comes to the biometric, the biometric short relevance into the municipality of Liberia, like Monrovia, that municipal function, like when you name the cities in Monrovia itself, the Pinsville City Corporation, the Browville area, just name a few, Sinker. Those areas are the areas people got registered because it's right in the city. But when you go into the interiors of Liberia, a lot of the people did not get registered because why? The internet coverages were poor, and these guys could not cover these people. So number one, there will be a lot of Liberians now voting in this election because they were not registered. So Joshua, what can we learn from the Sierra Leone situation? The Sierra Leone took time. Voter education is one of the paramount issues into every election. What more education have we done into the election, Joshua, has tend to be corrected? When me and you were still in Liberia, we know that when elections are near, we hear on the radios. But then television were not even all around, but the one or two people that had television, they will tell you, oh, we saw last night on the television, or the people said this, they said that. But now we had our advantage, what we call, social media. How many people are informed when it comes to the social media, Joshua? What me and you doing here? How many people in Liberia can see us? Just few, and the people in the municipality of Liberia. When you go in the interior, more people don't have access to the kind of phones that give you, access to internet and all the kind of thing. They're using button phones. So before you come in, my brother, this is my opinion. Our entire electionary process is not prepared. Our politicians have played games around it, but when you look at it from a holistic and a serious point of view, it will tell you that the elections are not prepared. And look, the politicians, they did not cost us, and now I continue to tell people, the time for them to red flag it, they did not do it, Joshua. You cannot red flag the election results when you should red flag the preparation for the elections. You'll be a fool. So the oppositions, they did not cause us when the process was not right. They did not cause any alarm for the process to be halted because they all greeted they want to ascend. But if you did not stop the process because the process was fragile, when the process gave you result, you got to accept the result. If you can't accept the result, what do you want? The peaceful citizens of Liberia have to rest.
All right, great point you made that. But again, I love your closing statement. We have two group of people in Liberia: the ones that are in power and the ones that want to get the power. And there's a saying that says, "Silent means consent." What I mean is, if you don't speak out, if you don't say anything, it means you agree with whatever the speaker is saying. So if the opposition cannot raise a argument that these processes are fraudulent, it means that they are satisfied with the process. They don't have an issue with it. So we all going into the same situation. And when I was in Liberia, I spoke with my friend, my district representative, and they were hoping that our district will have at least two representation because we are also grown in size and number. How you doing? So the censor did not give us that opportunity to have new district. Even in Rivers, they only got two representatives. I was hoping that they were going at least there are at least two more on them and all that. But let's see what we can discuss it again on Saturday. Maybe we can bring somebody new on plus you to see what we can more elaborate on it and see what we can get from it. It's we made some very serious points. But again, if the people that's supposed to make the noise, if they don't make the noise, then we can speak for them. But our time is fast spent. You want to close, and then next week we will come on earlier. Next week, remember, we'll discuss the topic again, and then we'll talk about tourism and creating job in Liberia.
Yeah, Joshua, it was nice being here, and I want to thank all of you out there watching us. We come here to share national opinions about Liberia. The only place we cannot be deported from is home. We love home. All of us are nationalistic. We are patriotic. And so everything you see us do here is from the place of love. We argue, we condemn people not because we hate them, but because we want to see, some level of achievement, some level of good things being manifested through the efforts of their national governance. And I'm one man, I don't dwell too much on politics, is because growing up into the Liberian politics, there are too many things that are not too strong. The only thing was that Joshua, the CEO, wrote something that is very, very significant. I know you probably did not touch it. I don't know why. But let me close on this. You see, in this war, and I'm quoting the CEO, she said, look, sometimes you in your corner.
I don't want to rush that. I want to Fasia to be on before we introduce that topic. So it will be the first talking point on Saturday, plus the other for the because I introduced it, but Fasia have trouble. So I love the two here to have a side. So if you speak on it now, Fasia lost her position. So
That's
let
true. Anyway,
yeah. So
okay,
let me for
okay,
some
sure.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, man, I love you guys, and man, look, let's help to share this platform. We don't need to be million viewers to make this platform work. The few of you guys that have regular followers, just help us share the link, and if we can have up to 15, 20 people watching, it's okay. What matters is that we're discussing, whom. And all of you, most of you guys watching are from Liberia or are Liberians, and so we want to thank you for watching, Joshua. Thank you for having me. It was nice being here. It was always my pleasure.
Thank you very much. And we are also live on YouTube and as well as Facebook. All right, folks. Once again, thank you for watching. My name is J. Joshua K. Power. I've been here with my man J. Conan Power. But the powers are two different powers. So his power is ERM, and my power is ELL. But we'll see you next Saturday. We'll be talking about what friends are for. Going to see you recently on Facebook. It's very interesting. We want to discuss that, what friends are for. We're talking about tourism and creating jobs in Liberia and our electoral process. We'll be talking about election because we are gearing towards election. Many people are coming into space. They want to be president. They want to be your leader. What can you trust them for? We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. Please help us to share this podcast so you will get the views that we want to get. Because we spend money to get this thing running. At least your share, comments, and like can also help us in the process. Have yourself a very wonderful time and God bless you. My name is J. Joshua K. Power.